Hi friends, I just got back from the gym and I feel great. What's the big deal about feeling great? I couldn't have said that a year ago. I didn't go to the gym a year ago. I didn't have the energy to work out a year ago. But my name is Jim, but you can call me the Ribeye Ranger. I live here in Texas and I have officially been on the carnivore way of eating for 1 year. That's right. Today's June 28th, 2024. 1 year ago today, I looked at my wife and I said, you know what? I just saw this guy on YouTube and he lost so much weight and he feels great and he got off all of his medications and the things he's healed, his depression, his anxiety, his congestive heart failure. He just feels so great now. And he's got more on his channel. I really got to give a shout out early. This is my friend Carrie Mann of Homestead How. When I saw his first video, I only ate meat for 30 days and here's what happened. I was stunned. I was drawn in. I couldn't look away. His passion, his healing, his honesty, it all came through the camera. But of course you're watching YouTube, right? So you look at YouTube and you say, okay, this guy's pretty convincing. What's he trying to sell me? I'm not against people selling anything, but when you look at somebody and he's talking about life-changing health matters, you got to wonder, is he selling supplements? Is he selling magic juice? No. Carrie Mann is the real deal. He had some really tough times in his life, but he buckled down and figured out the problem. And his problem was nutrition. And just like in all of our lives, the real root cause of most of our health issues is nutrition. Yeah, you're going to get hit by a car or maybe you're going to fall off your bike or trip off the curb and sprain or break something. Nutrition is the key to helping you heal. And the carnivore diet is just amazing. First thing you do is you eliminate sugar, obviously. Sugar, I mean in all of its forms. Cookies, cakes, desserts, you don't need them. You just don't need them. And then you get rid of the seed oils, the vegetable oils, the canola oil. You know those things started out as lubricating fluids? That's how they're originally manufactured. So get rid of the seed oils. And the reason they're bad for you is because they're foreign to your body. Your body has essentially an allergic reaction, metabolic inflammation. In its simplest form is an allergic reaction. Now I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just talking about my own personal experiences over the past 12 months on the carnivore way of eating. It's fantastic. Beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. Beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. And some water, and you can have any other meat you really want. You can have chicken. You can have any animal-based product. If you want some cottage cheese on the side, fine, but not too much. Milk has lactose in it, and that's something I learned. Everything with OSE on the end, your body treats as sugar. Your metabolism takes it in, and from our good doctors, who I'll talk about in a second, I've learned it starts in your mouth. You take that first bite, and your body says, we're going to convert this to sugar. On the way down, it starts a conversion. It gets in your gut. It goes into your intestines. Your body treats every carbohydrate as sugar. Bread, pasta, corn, other vegetables, other carbohydrate vegetables. They turn to sugar in your body. And your body has to do a couple of things, can only do a couple of things with sugar. It can turn it into energy. You know, you can burn it off quickly. But if you're not active and you're not burning it off right away, your body stores it as fat. It can store some in your muscles, in your muscle fibers. That's some of them. But whatever you don't burn as energy turns to fat in different places in your body. And your body says, look, until you need this, fine, we're just going to store it. But the reason it stores it in fat is because your body wants to burn fat as energy. That was a great revelation for me. That was a huge revelation. Well, let me tell you my story real quick. In 2021, I noticed I was really having some serious right knee pain. And I started limping. So I just adjusted my gait. I figured, you know what? I've been very active for a long time. I'm a retired police officer, and we had a lot of action back then. And I just figured it's part of getting older. I'm 66 years old now. So I thought, all right, this knee is just sore, big deal. Don't whine about it. Just move on with your life. And every day, it kept getting worse and worse. My gait was getting worse. I was limping more. And I had 205 pounds on me at the time. And I thought, well, okay, I could lose a few pounds. Maybe that'll help. I could never lose it and sustain it. Because the best advice we get from our government is eat less, move more. That's it. That's the key. No, it's not. It depends on what you eat. Anyway, so I tried that. Eat less, move more, wreck my knee a little bit more each day. Fast forward to October 2022, right around my birthday. I had my knee replaced, total knee replacement. Well, they get you moving pretty fast after that surgery, but the rehab takes a long time. And during that time, they're stretching and giving you exercises and light physical rehabilitation. Well, the thing is, your muscles have, in the prior amount of time, your muscles have deteriorated. You've got atrophy. So you have to build those muscles back up. Anyway, the 6-month portion of the rehab, the flexibility, the stretching, that went well. My physical therapist was great. That went fine. But I still had problems with my gait afterwards, after that. And I thought, well, I don't know. I still got this 205 pounds, and maybe I'll just try to lose some of this fat. And then as I moved on, I understood that my joints and my muscles just weren't cooperating. They were aching. They were painful. So remember, I got my surgery in October, and I've been rehabbing, all that time. I got my flexibility back, but I had no muscle strength, etc. June of 2023, I found Kerry Mann's video. I watched that video, and everything about it struck me. And he cured himself. He had arthritis. He had all of these things wrong with him. He was pre-diabetic. He was a mess. And then I saw his before and after pictures, because I figured I'll just lose some weight and see what happens, because maybe that's impeding my muscles. And I don't know. I didn't know. Once I watched Kerry's video, I turned the YouTube off, and I went to my wife and I said, Lynn, here's the deal. I'm going on this diet, this carnivore way of eating, and I'm going to see what happens. I said, I'll just be the experiment. I said, and because she really didn't think she had any weight to lose. She felt pretty good. We're pretty healthy for our mid-60s, I guess. Anyway, so I thought, okay, let's give this a shot. She says, okay, go ahead. She says, I'm not going to join you. I said, don't worry. It's not about you. It's about me.
You're giving me the it's not you, it's me routine? I invented it's not you, it's me. Nobody tells me it's them, not me. If it's anybody, it's me.
So I did it. I said, just whatever meat we have in the house, I'll eat it. We're going to buy more ground beef. I'll just stay on that. And during the course of my learning, I found Dr. Berry, of course, Dr. Ken Berry, Berry. And I was looking for carnivore on a budget because, you can't have steaks every day of your life. I don't know too many people that can. But carnivore on a budget. And he said, you know what? You buy the best meat that you can afford. As long as you're giving up the sugars and you're cutting out the seed oils and no potatoes and no pasta, you're doing all those things right. You're getting rid of the bad stuff and just adding more of the good. He says, you can get beef hot dogs. Get all beef hot dogs. You can have sausage. Still read the ingredients. Don't be silly about it. But get the stuff. If it says sugar-free, make sure to look on the back. Okay, it's as good as you're going to get. So I did that. I got some ground beef, some hot dogs, even cold cuts, and things started working. So I lost 7 pounds in that first week. And I know what many people say, oh, it's just fluid weight. It's weight. It's 7 pounds worth of weight. Plus, all of that fluid in there didn't need to be in my body. We needed to get that out of there. So that was great. And the other thing I noticed within the first week, because that was in the first 7 days, the other thing I noticed probably on the second day, I slept so deeply. I started having dreams again because I was sleeping deep. It was really a deep restorative sleep. I felt great when I woke up. Felt really, really rested. You're going to get constipated. You're going to get high cholesterol. You're going to wreck your heart. Eating fat is going to make you fat. Well, in the course of this diet, what happens automatically is you start searching out information. You jump on YouTube and you type in the search bar whatever you're concerned about. So I typed in carnivore diet, heart disease, carnivore diet, fat, carnivore cholesterol. And I came across Dr. Anthony Chafee, a neurosurgeon. And because I was concerned, well, eating fat will make me fat, won't it?
I always worry about fat. I always think that if you eat fat, you're going to get fat. I get about 70-80% of my calories from fat. And I'm not fat. Fat doesn't make you fat. Fat makes you lean, strong, and healthy.
He convinced me that's not true. And then you go to Dr. Philip Ovadia about heart disease. Why would I go to Dr. Ovadia on YouTube? Because he's a cardiologist, maybe? How about that? So he is on a carnivore diet because he lost so much weight. He got embarrassed telling his patients, you really need to lose a lot more weight. And he's this cardiologist and he is obese. So he had a self-awakening, I guess. And if you don't have to memorize any of these doctors' names because my wife came up with a great idea, making carnivore resource cards. We list the names and the practice, the type of doctor they are, their certification. Lynn created this card to hand out to people that we talk in public now because she joined me 1 week after I was on the carnivore diet, and she saw how I felt, how I looked, my attitude was better. I might have been a little easier to live with. I don't know, you have to ask her. But once the weight loss started, for me, it kept going incrementally, month by month. Nothing drastic. I didn't lose like 40 pounds in 30 days. No, nothing like that for me. But the interesting thing I learned was your body is so intelligent. You lose the visceral fat first. That's the fat around your organs. That's really bad fat. Anyway, these are just some of the things I learned along the way through research. And you can research all of these things yourself. Go to YouTube, think of a question in your mind, and just translate it into the YouTube search bar and hit send. Carnivore diet, constipation. You're going to find plenty of videos that debunk that. You don't get constipation on the carnivore diet. That's the best thing about the carnivore diet. You don't weigh or measure anything. You don't portion out your food. You don't count calories. Because meat is the most nutrient-dense food on the planet. Research backs it up. All the doctors back it up. Nobody can deny that. It's the most nutrient-dense food on the planet. Red meat, particularly from ruminant animals. Because ruminant animals can eat grass and vegetables and plants. They have a multi-chambered stomach. It's a process that goes on in there. They regurgitate it, essentially, I don't know how to do it, reprocess it inside until it's ready to go out the other end. But they have absorbed all of those nutrients. Humans can't absorb all the nutrients in plants. You cannot. Okay? I didn't make this stuff up. It took me a year to learn a lot of this stuff. Plants have two things that trouble me. Anti-nutrients and phytotoxins. Anti-nutrients are chemicals in the plants that bind to the fiber and the other nutrients, all the plant material. They bind it. They chelate it. C-H-E-L-A-T-E. They chelate it to make it inaccessible to whoever ate that. So when they say, oh, plants are full of vitamins and minerals, did it ever occur to anybody that maybe they have the vitamins and minerals because they need them? Or because Mother Nature and God decided that the animals who eat those plants successfully might need them? We're capable of eating plants. Our body is a miracle of biochemistry. We can adjust to so many things. I mean, this is what I've learned in the last year. Yeah, you could eat a lot of crap. Actually, what we call it survival food. So if you have to, if you get one of those MREs and there's an attack on all the grocery stores near you and you can't get groceries, fine. Pick up an MRE and shove some of that in your face. You can survive on that. That's why they call it survival food. I also learned that in the gladiator days and in the old days of really kings and dictators, they served the masses grains and rice and breads because they lacked the nutrients. They couldn't build muscle on those things. So that's what they were eating. It's not exactly like you see, Russell Crowe Gladiator. I love that movie, by the way. But it's not. They're not like that. They weren't all that big and massive because they didn't eat meat. Matter of fact, in some medieval cultures, they were the king's deer. If you were in the forest and you went out and you hunted deer, they would snatch you up and take your deer meat, and they'll take you. You're arrested for killing the king's deer. Anyway, that's some history and some side notes. In October of 2023, so I started June, July, August, September, October. 4 months later, I go in for my physical, annual physical around my birthday. I go to my doctor's office and I weigh in. I was 25 pounds lighter than I was the prior year. He says, "Oh, well, this is interesting. How'd you lose that weight? Are you okay? Did you intend to lose the weight?" And I said, "Actually, Doc, yeah, I did." I said, "I am on a very low carb diet." He says, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." He didn't ask any further questions. He put a note in his chart. He says, "Oh, okay, well, let's check out your heart and your lungs and your breath." And my blood pressure was 117 over 73 during that visit. 117 over 73. I'm 66 years old, 5'11". So I'd lost 25 pounds at that time. My labs were great. He said, "Well, your cholesterol's a little high. I'm concerned about that. Your LDL's a little high. I'm concerned about that." And he was being honest. It wasn't a little. My LDL was, they want you to be below 100, and I was at 162. So what do? I go home and research LDL cholesterol. And LDL cholesterol is not a marker for heart disease. It's not. Look it up. Look up the 2016 JAMA article that admits the sugar industry paid for research to demonize meat and fat and tell you that sugar and carbs were actually good for you. So LDL cholesterol, they're still doing new research on it. And one of the studies that I saw said they did an examination of old people that died. The people that lived the longest, 90s, 100s, beyond 100, had the highest LDL levels of all of the other dead people. Let that sink in. The old people that died had the highest LDL levels of all of the old people's blood that they studied. That's remarkable. And yet, they're still preaching it today. Oh, you better get on a statin. October I had my physical. And in December, toward the end of the year, we just looked at each other watching TV one day. I said, "I want to get up and get out and do something. You want to join a gym?" She said, "Yeah, let's do it." The two of us have never had that conversation before. I've been active outside. I use a chainsaw, cut some trees and limbs, and cut my own firewood. But that's fine. But we never said, let's go to the gym and actually lift heavy things and ride some bikes and machines. And we never did that. So that was in December. I had to switch doctors because mine just moved or something. I got a notice he's gone. So I went to a new doctor just a couple of months ago. And I had her take my blood so we could get a fresh baseline. And my cholesterol, all my numbers were great. They were very similar to where they were back in October. My testosterone, for those of you that don't know, a normal testosterone for a man is somewhere between 300, which is really low, and 720. And my testosterone went from 438 before Carnivore, 438, and was 665 just a month or so ago. So there's that. And here's one thing that I learned that stunned me. Your body doesn't miss what it doesn't need. Hard to believe. I used to enjoy a martini and a cigar every night. I loved it. I sat out on the patio with Lynn. She'd have a glass of wine, I'd have a martini. We'd each have a nice cigar, enjoy the evening. It became a habit. But just one drink, that was it, no big deal. And we were eating the standard American diet. After about a week on carnivore, that faded. I looked at her one day and I said, you want me to pour you some wine? She said, I really don't feel like it. I said, you know what? I don't either. I don't feel like my martini or cigar. It just faded. I didn't need it. My body didn't need it. It felt better without it. That's how it goes. And I'm not the only one. There are plenty of stories like that. I don't miss pasta. I don't miss potatoes. I don't miss cake. I don't miss pies. I don't miss desserts. I don't miss cookies. You could put a plate full in front of me right now and I couldn't care less. You don't weigh or measure your food. You don't portion. You eat meat until you're comfortably stuffed. You eat meat with the fat it comes with. Don't trim the fat. That's all you do. Ruminant meat is best, but buy what you can afford. But eliminate those other things. No sugars, no seed oils, no potatoes. You don't need vegetables. There's no such thing as an essential carbohydrate. There's not. And you don't need fiber. Fiber is indigestible. Let's think about this for a minute. Fiber is indigestible. Would you tell a lion or a dog, here's a piece of plastic, go ahead and eat that? Well, you won't be able to digest it, but that's okay, you can eat it. Or how about this? Here's a piece of shoe. Just chew up that shoe leather and swallow that down. You won't be able to digest it, but that's okay. Of course you wouldn't. Plants are indigestible. And the people that tell you that, oh, you need fiber to use the restroom, that's not true. Fiber irritates the lining of your colon. It irritates it. Sometimes, and it's a very tortuous colon. It's very twisted, and there's quite a path down there. So the thing is, fiber gets hung up and ferments in the gut. You ever fart? Guess what that is? That's gas buildup inside. And the more you do that, the more you have things fermenting inside your gut. That's not good. So fiber is not good for you because it's not digestible. It's also part of the anti-nutrient factor. Because all the nutrients bind to the fiber, they're chelated to the fiber, and you can't digest those, so you're not going to get all the vitamins and minerals you think, oh, this carrot's doing so good for it. It's not. It's irritating your gut. Anybody with indigestion, I'll tell you what, if you just have indigestion, or you have reflux or something, just try going on to meat for 2 weeks. Just for that. Just 2 weeks. Meat only, nothing else, and watch what happens. For my family and friends who are reticent to try this, all I'm suggesting is you plan to be alive in 30 or 60 days, 60 days, 90 days, even better. But if you're planning to be alive at the end of that, try this for 30 days. The old food would always be there. That old food will always be in the grocery stores. So there's 60,000 products in the grocery store that are processed, have some sort of chemicals or sugars in them that we just don't need. So just try it in 30 days. I mean, sometimes I tell people, just try it for 2 weeks and watch what happens to your gut, especially if you have gut problems. 2 weeks. But honestly, give it 30 days. That's what I did. I told Lynn, I'm going to do this for 30 days and then I'm out. I'll decide. I did it for 30 days and I told her, I'm in. There's no reason for me to go back. No reason. I don't drink Cokes. I don't drink sodas. I don't drink sweet tea like they have here in Texas. I just don't need it. Your body doesn't miss what it doesn't need. And I don't miss any of it. I really don't. You give me some water, some meat, maybe a few pieces of cheese, some cottage cheese. But I feel great, and that's the important part. Don't want this video to get too long, but I'm telling you, I call myself the Ribeye Ranger because I love my ribeyes. I love my fatty red meat. And remember, fat doesn't make you fat. It makes you lean, strong, and healthy. And I'm going to tell you something. My wife, Lynn, she is feeling great. She's putting on muscle at the gym. You know, I don't run around taking pictures of myself without my shirt on. It's just not my thing. I don't have many pictures of myself at all anyway. But I'll tell you something. I am no longer embarrassed to take my shirt off in public. You know, I'm out on the kayak. I'll go kayaking, go fishing. Just take my shirt off, enjoy myself, work out in the yard here. All the neighbors can see me, drive my John Deere. I work out here and I don't mind. So there are a lot of benefits. There's a lot of psychological benefits, a lot of personal esteem benefits to trying this way of eating. Give it 30 days. That's all I can tell you. This way of living has rejuvenated me. I'm 66, 5'11", 155. That's my high school weight. And in high school, I was in the best shape of my life. With Carnivore, once you do start lifting heavy things, once you have the energy to start working out or just lifting heavy things around the house, you're putting on muscle. I mean, that's a 66-year-old left arm right there, right? There you go. I'm telling you. We're having fun here, and I'm enjoying my life. I feel like I'm in my 40s, okay? I really do. Anyway, the stories are similar all over the internet, but I just wanted to share this Carniversary with you. My first Carniversary. June 28th, 2024. I'm feeling great. My labs are good. My blood pressure's fine. My heart is strong. My heart is strong. And my heart's happy. So, if you want to love your life again, you want to try to reverse some of the problems you've had, I'm telling you, it's everything from simple allergies. Oh, by the way, Lynn and I haven't had a flu. I haven't had a sneeze in a year. And if you know anything about Central Texas and cedar fever, you know that's kind of weird not to sneeze, okay? I haven't had a sneeze in a year. We used to get the flu every winter. Every winter we got the flu. One of us or both of us, and the last few have been terrible. 2023 was flu-free, thanks to Carnivore. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. Okay, friends, in case you couldn't tell, I am very happily Carnivore. And I am not going back anytime soon. Anytime soon. You know, ask my friend Carrie Mann and Dr. Barry how Carnivore works for them. And you're going to get an earful, my friends. This is great. Anyway, have a great, great day. You can have a great life. Whatever's ailing you, start with nutrition. If you have mental issues, depression, if you're on medication, if you're on medication for heart, if you're on medication for diabetes, the number of people reversing type 2 diabetes is astounding. It's astounding. Look it up, okay? Well, until we meet again, and I know I'll probably be on another one with Lynn Tucker Carnivore here in the near future, I just wanted to say thank you to all my Carnivore family. I want to thank you to my supportive friends. We have friends in both camps. Some are supportive, some not so much. But I want to thank my family and friends who are supportive, and I really appreciate it. And I'm never going back. Carnivore for life. That's what I am, Carnivore for life. Have a great day, stay healthy, eat meat, and enjoy the ride.